Just waiting to go live everywhere, but say hi. Let me know if you're here. So this is my hurricane hair. You guys can say a prayer for Florida because it just has not stopped raining in a long time, and so we're going to be sporting the bun all week. There are no other options. Okay. I'm super excited to talk today about how much we should be spending on our wardrobes. Now, I know that budget, a word that I don't like to use very often, is a very touchy topic. And how much we spend is a very touchy topic for some people. But I think we should kind of peel back the mystery on how much things cost and how much we actually spend on our wardrobes so that we can be more intentional and we can get the most out of whatever it is we choose to spend. So how much you choose to spend, obviously, there's a lot of factors, your personal financial situation, as well as your goals and your priorities. Some people prioritize style more than other people, and that is totally fine. So we just want to talk about what things actually cost in 2024, what we are actually spending, and where we should bump up our spending and where we should bring down our spending. Okay, so first let's talk about, and I want to know in each of these categories, I want you to comment and tell me if you are in the budget, the mid, or the premium range in terms of spending in these categories. So let's break down clothes. How much do clothes cost in 2024? So if you're looking, for example, at a t-shirt, a budget t-shirt in 2024 costs anywhere between $10 and $30, right? Mid-range t-shirt, $35 to $75. $75. That's considered a mid-range t-shirt. A premium t-shirt is from $80 to $150. Now, before I get too far deep into this, I want to say that we know that one of the things and one of the strange phenomenons about shopping in 2024 is that the lower end has gotten lower and the higher end has gotten higher. So what's happened is that we have places like Shein where you can buy a shirt, or Temu where people can buy a shirt for like $1.50. And then you've got brands that are selling their bags upwards of $10,000, like easily. And getting that for it on a regular basis, right? So you can find dollar items, you can find $10,000 items. And then there's the whole world in between. Good morning, everyone. So when I remember very well, one of my random clear memories, being in elementary school, I think I was in 5th grade. So this would have been 1980, 1981. I remember telling a friend of mine that I just got a new pair, my parents just bought me a new pair of sandals. And at the time, it felt premium, like the price felt like an expensive price. Remember, she asked me how much they were, and I said they were $30. And she said, oh, I don't know that my parents would ever pay $30 for a pair of sandals for me. I remember feeling like they were fancy, like that was an expensive price for a pair of sandals. So because so $30 in 1980, you can easily buy a pair of $30 sandals in 2024, right? That was 44 years ago. So in a way, prices have like at the high end and the low end have changed, but prices in that middle range are still the same. In 1987, I think when they did this one study, people bought 12 items a year and spent, I don't know, something like 15% of their wardrobe budget on their clothing. 15% of their annual budget on clothing. Now we spend a much smaller percentage of our annual budget on clothing, and we buy 5 times as many items. So things have changed. Good afternoon, England. It is. The dollar shirts get worn once and then thrown away. Yes, absolutely. So I'm not advocating for that at all. But what I want us to do is kind of look at the landscape of what's happening in style right now, and how in the middle range, prices strangely have not changed all that much from 1980 to 2024. So again, let's talk about t-shirts. A budget t-shirt could be $10. A premium t-shirt can be $150. Jeans, how much do you typically spend on jeans? Mid-range for t-shirts. Okay. Jeans, budget jeans, $25 to $50. We're talking Old Navy. We're talking H&M. We're talking Target. We're talking Zara, right? Mid-range 60 to 120, premium 150 up. And you know, with premium prices, you can go all the way up, right? It's typically 150 to 300, but somewhere in that mid-range. Dresses, a budget dress, $20 to $50. Mid-range dress, $75 to $200. Premium, $250 up. And it can go way up. Blouses, low end 20 to 40, mid range 50 to 120, premium 150 up. Let's do one more. Jackets, budget $40 to $80 for a casual jacket. So $40 to $80. Like if you go to Target, you go to H&M, Amazon, maybe $40 to $80. Mid range, I'm seeing a lot of mid range. For a mid range jacket, $100 to $250 for a mid range jacket. And then a premium jacket is $300 and up, right? They say $300 to $600 plus. So mid range, low end, mid range, premium for both jeans and dresses. Okay, so let's talk about, so those of you who are saying that you are in the mid-range on t-shirts and the low end of your price point on jeans and the high end of your price point on dresses. For example, let's talk about where we should be and where we should, what budget range we should be spending on for these key items. So you want to ask yourself, how much do I currently pay? What category am I in for this specific item? And is this the right category for me to be in, depending on, based on what I choose to spend on my wardrobe per season? Mid-range mostly. Okay. So first, let's talk about the clothes that wear out easily. So these are the knit material clothes. So we're talking about t-shirts and, just other really t-shirts, sweats, other casual knits. What range should you spend on your casual knit pieces? My suggestion and my encouragement would be to spend at the lower end of your price range on the knit pieces, because t-shirts, as much as I like a nice premium t-shirt as much as the next person, t-shirts are the types of things that I would encourage you to replace regularly because they look grungy quickly. Sweats are the same. Sweats I would encourage you to replace regularly because they get grungy quickly. So the items that you're going to cycle through much more quickly, you want to spend less money on. Okay, this is awesome. Everyone's talking about how much they're spending. So this is so good because we want to know, like, what is the realistic? And if we're saying, I really want a leather bag for $25, is that realistic? Only if you're going to thrift it or find it at a vintage store. A real leather bag at $25 is going to be hard to find. So you want to have an idea of what things actually cost so we can know whether we're spending our money accurately. So, okay, so go back to knits. Knit pieces that get worn out and that are worn really casually is something that I think should be in the budget end of your price range. What other things should be budget items? Other budget items include trend accessories like these earrings, for example. And that's why I wore these today. These earrings, I bought them from Amazon. They were, or Amazon or Marshalls. I spent like $8 on these earrings. Why? Because these are trend earrings. They're a Bottega Veneta dupe. They were really in last year. They're already kind of pretty much out. So these were a trend piece. So really trendy pieces, really casual pieces that get worn out very quickly and that you need to, replace really quickly. White t-shirts are one of those things that you can spend $100 on one. You can spend $10 on one. You're still going to need to update it in a couple of years at the most, because it's going to get grungy, it's going to get discolored, and you're going to want a fresh version of it. So pieces like that, trendy accessories, trendy tops, and knits are items that I think should be on the lower end or the budget end of your price range. So I want you to think about, what is a budget price range for me? What do I consider a steal? I did that video last week where I talked about affordable finds under $150, and I got a comment that said, well, $150 is out of my price range. I'm like, totally get that. You need to identify what is a high-end price range for you, what is a medium price range for you, and what is a budget price range for you, and allocate items according to that price range. So for the low end, like I said, trend pieces and knits. What should you be spending the range of your price range on. I would say that this should be pieces like casual jackets, like dresses, like blouses. Your regular workhorse pieces in your wardrobe should be in the medium price range. So like dresses, blouses, jackets, the pieces that you reach for every day should be in that medium end of your price, medium zone of your price range. So if that is, maybe your medium price range is $50 to $150, that's what you should be spending on dresses, on blouses, on regular kind of casual everyday clothes and pants. What you should be spending on casual jackets, like if you're going to shop for a denim jacket or a utility jacket or a bomber jacket, you should be spending in the medium range of your price range on those casual pieces, those everyday pieces. These are pieces that you're going to expect to have in your wardrobe for at least 5 years. So you want to spend a little bit more money on them. These are not the trend pieces, but these are like your everyday go-to, your day in, day out pieces that you really want to hold up. Why do you want to spend in the mid-range on these pieces whenever possible? Because these are pieces that are going to last longer, they're going to hold up better, and they're going to be lower maintenance in terms of care. We've all bought a really cheap item, washed it, and it looks like a dish rag afterwards, right? Like you've got to spend so much time just maintaining that item just for it to look like wearable. And that's not practical for the things that we're going to get a lot of use out of. Okay, and someone's saying, I love secondhand shopping. Yes, so truly the way that we're going to make the most of our wardrobe budgets in 2024 is secondhand, thrift, consignment, vintage. I absolutely would recommend it. That is a way to get more for whatever it is that your budget is right now, what you're willing to spend. Okay, now so I talked about what we should spend on the low end, what we should spend, what we should spend for our mid-range items, what those should be. What about what should you spend the most money on in your wardrobe? I want to know, what is your price point that you consider high end? What is that minimum? Is high end for you above 50? Is it above 150? Is it above 1,000? Like, what is that number for you that makes something a premium item, a more splurge item? I want to know what that number is for you. Please let me know in the comments. So if you are looking at what do I spend the most on, you want to spend the most money on things that you're going to use all the time and that are things that are going to hold up and you're going to have for a long time to come. So I'm going to say that includes jeans with reservations, because as I've said in many videos, jeans are the type of item that you should spend as much as you need to spend to get the right fit. So you can buy jeans in the budget, the medium, or the premium price range and still get a great pair of jeans. But if you were going to spend your money on something and you wanted to invest in something that you could have for a few years, and that where I would say the money and the cost per use went way down, jeans would be that one of those items. Another thing that you should spend on the high end of your price range for is shoes. Somebody said athletic shoes. Absolutely. Anything that you're using to work out or to be active in terms of footwear is going to be really important because you want to take care of your feet. But shoes in general, like you want the best shoes that you can afford that fit you really, really well. And truly if you're looking at shoes, what is the shoe that you wear the most we're in fall, winter now, right? We're officially in fall. For fall, winter, what are the shoes that you are going to get the most use out of? For most of you, that's going to be boots or booties. That's where you should spend the most of your wardrobe budget, is on those shoes that you're going to wear like 4 times a week, 5 times a week, 3 times a week. Those are the shoes that you should be spending money on. They should be the best quality possible. They should fit you as perfectly as possible. They should be as comfortable as possible. That's where you really, really are going to get the most mileage out of your wardrobe budget. And the cost per use on a great pair of boots or a great pair of shoes becomes negligible after a while. So many of you have told me you have had some boots in your wardrobe for 10, 15, 20 years. That's a great investment. So shoes should absolutely be something that we should be spending, at the high end of our budgets on. Okay, bags. I've talked about this also. A great classic leather bag You want it to be leather. Why? Because leather will hold up longer and will get better with age, whereas a vinyl or vegan leather or faux leather is going to crack and peel and break down over time. And we want something that if you're going to invest in something, you want it to be something that's going to last. So again, unless you have any ethical objections to leather, buy a leather bag, and you can find one if you search carefully, and if you're willing to thrift or go to vintage stores, you can find one whatever your price point. But a new leather bag is typically going to cost you upwards of $50. So you want to invest in a bag that you're going to have for years to come. And you want it to be one that you absolutely love, but is as simple as possible. Because I'm going to go back to details date. And if you're spending for any of these things, the jeans, the shoes, the bags, you're spending a little bit more money on these items, you want them to hold up, you want them to last longer, and you want to get the most out of your wardrobe budget. I love this. My pink Coach bag is on its 5th summer. Yes. Oh my gosh, someone said that is amazing. I digitize my wardrobe and it gives me cost per wear so I can see what I should really spend my money on. That is brilliant. I love that. So slippers, I love it. Yeah, sorry, absolutely spend money on slippers if you're spending a lot of time at home. Like the things that you're just using all the time should be where we're spending our money. The last thing that I think should be in that premium price range is a coat, like a winter coat or winter jacket. So I would say everybody, I feel like literally everybody needs a trench coat. Yes, even us Floridians, a trench coat is the only coat that I ever actually reach for in the fall and winter. Most winters, I don't need anything more than a trench coat, but a trench coat is absolutely classic. And you can consider spending on whatever the high end of your price range is on a trench coat and know that it's a worthwhile investment. If you are in a colder climate, you want a really cozy, like whatever parka, you want a really nice wool coat. Those are going to be things that you're going to have in your wardrobe for years. And so you want to spend more on those items. So someone is saying, I get the appeal of nylon bags. I'm going to go back to a leather bag, though. I don't think that there's a substitute for a leather bag because it's got the versatility that a nylon bag doesn't have. If you're buying like one beautiful bag, you want it to be simple enough that you can dress it up or down. You can take it all sorts of places. And so we're looking for the most versatile pieces, and more casual pieces are just not going to have that versatility. That's why I will recommend the leather bags. Okay, so what should we be paying for things like formal wear and cocktail dresses? I feel like formal wear and cocktail dresses should be at the low to middle end of your price range. That said, obviously, if you have a very important event, your mother of the bride or mother of the groom, it's your own wedding, something really, really important, you're going to want to go all out and maybe spend premium on something like that. But for like the regular cocktail party season, I would say you want to buy those items when you find them on sale. You want those to be at the lower end of your price range. You want those to be at the lower end because you're going to wear those once or twice. The cost per use is going to end up being really, really, really ridiculous. I cannot tell you again how many clients I have that will spend $500 on a cocktail dress and $50 on shoes. It should be reversed. If you're going to spend $500 on anything, make it shoes, a bag, or a coat. That's what you should be spending your money on. The rest of your wardrobe budget can easily be in your lower to mid range. So someone said, Cynthia said, leather's too heavy for you. Totally get that. Obviously, you have to do what works for you. Shayna said, I make my formal wear. That's awesome. Spend good money on fabric. Yes, I love that. I love that. Yes, you've got to take these principles and make them work for you, but I'm giving you the reason why I think oh, I love it. I wore one of my daughter's old prom dresses to my son's wedding. That's amazing. Why I think certain things are worth the money and other things are not worth the money. I want you to see my perspective as a personal stylist. As I said in my email that went out today, just in the last week, I've had I think it was over 700 items purchased by my clients. I do a lot of shopping through my clients as well as for myself, and I do a lot of research on shopping. So my perspective is based on what's currently happening in the market and the advice that I give my clients, because I want you to maximize your wardrobe. So regular everyday clothes should be in the lower to mid range of your price point. Shoes, bags, coats, maybe fine jewelry or a great everyday watch, those should be on the higher end of your price range. That's awesome. Someone said they got great prices on their mother of the groom dresses. That's fabulous. And I've done videos on what I would wear as mother of the bride and mother of the groom, and none of those dresses were in some cases were over $100 or $150. You can absolutely get great mother of the bride and mother of the groom dresses at great prices, and I've recommended many brands that do that. But if you wanted to splurge, I wouldn't blame you. However, I would totally blame you if you splurged on a cocktail dress that was $750 for a random event and you were going to wear it twice in your life. That said, I do think everyone deserves to have one beautiful longer gown and one beautiful cocktail dress that is pretty timeless, that you can consider spending a little bit more money on. Maybe this is going to be in your premium range because you're going to have it for years, and you're going to be able to switch up your accessories and make it look different depending on where you're going and the season and what's currently trending. So okay, so that is my perspective on how much we should be spending on things in 2024. And truly, if you can spend less or want to spend more, obviously that's a very personal decision. But if you're looking at what is worth it? What is worth it? I work hard for my money. I, saved up my money. What is worth it for me to spend money on? It's going to be the pieces that you add on to whatever you're wearing. So the jackets, the shoes, the bags, the jewelry, those are the pieces that if you spend money on those, you're not going to kick yourself later. You're not going to have a regret about it later. Your clothes wear out. 5 to 10 years is really the longest that we can expect to have most clothing items. And so I would encourage you, again, those should be on the lower to mid end of your price point. Yes, absolutely. Thrifting and consigning and all of that is going to be a way that not only are we going to make our budget stretch more, but it's also more sustainable. And it's also fun. It's also fun to find great pieces I just shared, and I wish I had it with me. I just bought a beautiful, it was in my bags video, beautiful bag from the 1940s. It's a beautiful leather clutch that I absolutely love from the 1940s. And I bought it for $40 at an antique store. So absolutely, we have never had more of a selection at every price range than we have right now in 2024. So make your budget work for you. Decide how much you want to spend per season and how you're going to break that down. And again, keep in mind that the pieces that you reach for every day, the pieces that you wear all the time, are the pieces, truly, that's just the one takeaway I want you to take from this video. The things that you're going to wear over and over and over and over and over again are the ones where obviously the cost per use is going to be low, and that's where you should consider spending your money. I hope that was helpful. I'd love to continue this conversation about what we're paying, what things cost in 2024, and what we can realistically expect to spend on our wardrobes. Things are crazy out there. Again, we can get $1 shirts, we can get $1,000 shirts. There's just no rhyme or reason in a way. So we want to be wise about building our wardrobes and spending our money in a way that gets us the most return for our style. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Please say a prayer in Florida. Again, this is hurricane here. Say a prayer for Florida because we have 2 storms moving in. And so you're going to see my hair up for the foreseeable future. Love you guys. I hope you have a great week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.